There she is. Yeah. Lily, would you wave? They can't. Okay, there's Lily. Lily, the students in the class have a weekly shout out to somebody. And Lily shouted out to Charles Bernstein for partaking in this week's ModPo discussion forum. It is absolutely incredible, says Lily, to be able to interact on such a human and anonymous way. I guess you meant like virtually, right? With someone we are studying. Read a poem, go to the forums. There he is. I'm so used to reading poems and works written by people who are inaccessible that to interact and learn from the original producer of the work is truly amazing. Davey, I know you care and think a lot about innovative teaching. So can you just say maybe the obvious? What's so good, positive, about Lily Light, a student of literature, a fairly new student of literature, learning that poets who write poems can actually be around. You can actually have a social relationship or an intellectual relationship with them. What's so good about that?
Something that ModPo asks of students is to really be in dialogue with the work. And so the possibility that the person who's creating the work wants to be in dialogue with you really is a way of making this process real, of saying, you know, that reading poems in this way and reading difficult poetry is a necessarily connective process, not just to other people, not just to people sitting in a classroom or people across the world, but that it's connective and dynamic for poets themselves.
Yes.
That nothing in this process is unavailable, not even the poets who are writing the work.
And that poets who might have written a poem in 2002 or 2001, whenever he wrote that poem that we study, here it is, 2016, and Charles Bernstein has lived a life, a very, like eventful life since 2001, and has a lot to say when rereading a poem that we are all studying as if it were fresh, as if 9/11 had happened just a year ago or 6 months ago or 5 days ago or whenever it is that he wrote that poem in retrospect. Now in 2016, Lily Light has as much to say about the restless world as Charles does now, reflecting upon it. It's what a teacher, former teacher of mine, gone teacher of mine, Terence Dupre, used to call the fate of rereading. So, Kate, quick question on this before we go to the phone. So you write a poem like I Mean, and we talk about it, and you'll listen to that poem talk, and you won't, I predict you won't wince. You won't think, they got it wrong. You'll probably actually confess to have learned something from the conversation. How could that possibly be?
Well, that's always true. When you read a review of your work or listen to people talking about your work, all kinds of stuff comes out that you didn't intend to put in there. Of course it's okay.
And why is it okay?
That's its raison d'etre.
Really? So that's the reason for its being, that it could be handled by other people and done with by other people and made something of by other people.
Sure, because we want the reader to participate in the meaning making of the poem.
ModPo! Yeah!